Because I finished the JINX costume. Do you gotta go potty? Sorry, my dog had to go to the bathroom. Anyway, it looks so good. I usually don't make props, but the gun did look simple enough, and it was, and it looked so good, and I'm so happy with it. It was so easy. I actually just used a gun from the dollar store and a paper towel roll and then some craft foam, and then I just painted it. And the reason I wanted to make this is because having a prop makes posing for your character so much easier, because you can like get into action and like do different poses that you can't do if you just like have your hands floating around with nothing in them. Anyway, I'm going to show you all the pieces I made, starting with the shirt. I actually am going to be uploading a pattern for the shirt on my website, so you can download it and make it at home. And I really love the paint job on it. I love the art style of the show, so I really wanted to try to recreate that with the paint job by adding like all this different shading and stuff. And I'm very happy with how that turned out. I'm just going to show you how I made the shirt. First, I cut out a frame for the shirt out of craft foam with a pattern I made. I cover the foam frame in fabric and sew along the edges. You can download and print the patterns at home, the link is in the description. Then I trace the circles on the pattern with chalk and press it onto the fabric like a stamp to indicate where I need to make holes. Then I cut 4 little circles out of foam. You can just use the circles on the pattern for this. I curved the circles with hot glue and pinching them around the edges. After I'm done pinching all 4 of them, I lay them in place and glue them down. And then I cut the hole out completely. Then I wrap little strips of fabric through them in an X shape. These pieces are also part of the pattern and are a fake strap for under the bust to look like a belt. Then I just sew that down and glue the belt buckle piece over it. Now for the fun part, weathering and painting the shirt to look animated. The base color of the shirt is a dark grayish brown color. I'm highlighting it with a light beige and gray, and adding shadows with black. The highlights are for adding wrinkles to the fabric and highlighting along the edges of seams, which really helps it look animated. And for shadows, I'm adding them in the seams and around the edges of details and adding some wrinkles as well. I'm taking some Mod Podge and painting it along the belt area under the bust. This will dry clear and create a different texture in the fabric. Then I lightly brush black paint all over the shirt to darken it. Next, I use beige and gray to make the strips of the fabric on the chest look off-white. And I add darker wrinkles into it as well. Then I paint the fake metal circles gold. I also paint the belt under the chest dark brown and let that dry. And I paint those belt details gold as well. Now that the shirt is finished, let's move on to the lower half. As for the pants and the belts and the suspenders, I am so happy with how this turned out. I just got these pants from the thrift shop and then I just painted the stripes on them, all the little details that you see. I do actually have a pattern for you for the suspenders and this little detailing, so hopefully that will make your life a little easier. I will add a link to it in the description. For the glove, on one of the hands she just has like a black glove and a little like thick bracelet, which I just made out of foam, super easy. And on the fun side, she has like a little sleeve, and under this she has a glove that goes high up on her arm, and then another sleeve layer under this, which is just gray and black stripes, and then two little belts that go around the top of her arm.
Next, I'm going to show you how I did the pants. First, I started with some pants that I found from the thrift shop. Then I traced where I wanted to cut them off under the knee. I cut them and I used the leftovers for the arm sleeve. Then I painted lighter magenta stripes on the sleeve. After it was dry, I took a cylinder of thicker craft foam and added structure to the sleeve and glued it in place. Then I used the same paint to paint stripes onto the pants. All of this was freehanded and I didn't use any stencils or measuring. I also added tiny gray lines along the sides of each stripe. While the pants dried, I added some black stripes to this little gray arm sleeve. She also has some sashes on the side of her pants, and one of them also has stripes, so I painted stripes on that as well. Now I'm using my pattern that you can download and cutting out the suspenders, and gluing together the belt buckle and adding on the little details. Then I take a bunch of pieces from my pattern that I cut out of foam and cover them in black fabric. Remember, you can download all of this and print it at home. The link is in the description. Here are all the little detail pieces that I have that need to be painted to look metallic. I just go over these with a base coat of black paint and let that dry, then cover it in gold and silver paint. Also, the little spikes are just made of tubes of foam that I carved into spikes. They're not sharp at all.
Hello! My craft room looks like it exploded right now. It definitely looks like JINX had something to do with this mess, which I guess she has, because I have been working on her costume, finishing it up, and I think I finished almost everything except for the belt and suspenders, but I did make the pieces for it. I just have to put them all together. But I wanted to show you where I'm at right now and kind of talk you through it, because I don't know how much I recorded of all of it, because the details just like kept coming and I'm like, oh gosh, there's a sash here, there's another layer there, there's another layer there, and then there's all these little accent details. So I just got to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to power through it. I just want to get all the pieces done. I did finish the pants. I recorded the process from this. These are just from the thrift shop, and I painted these stripes on them and I gave them different tones. They look a little blotchy intentionally because that's how they look in the show, so I just wanted to recreate that. And then on her hip she has like this little sash here and then another sash here. Both of these are just foam pieces covered in fabric and then painted. And then under this side there is another little layer that is just foam that I covered, and it goes, I think, somewhere like this. She has like all these scraps of fabric kind of just dangling off her hips. And when I put them on, I kind of want to put them on as one solid piece. Just for ease of getting dressed, I didn't want so many different little pieces. So that's why I wanted to keep them very structured, and that's why I added the foam to the inside. I also made her sleeve, which gets like bigger at the end and has like this structure, which isn't super realistic for non-animated clothing, so I added some foam in there to hold the structure. And then we just have a bunch of little details like gloves, bands, sleeves, and then of course the band-aid on her leg. As for the suspenders, I will show you where I am at with that. Hello. These are currently the pieces I have for the suspenders. This is going to go under the hip. These are for this to slide right in here.
To make this part easier, I'm going to show you step by step how everything attaches to each other. I start with the belt I made, and then under the hip I add an extra layer which is part of my pattern. Then I attach the right side suspender to the belt. I attach the striped sash to the pants and add all the other little fabric flaps as well as the left side suspender. Now it's time to add all the detailing. I just use hot glue and glue all the pieces where they're supposed to go.
Okay, I fixed everything together and painted it and attached all the little details like the belt and the little metal pieces to the suspenders and stuff. They are in two separate pieces just for ease of putting on. It's not 100% accurate in the back, but I do not care because there's very few photos taken from the back anyway. So I still need to finish the boots and maybe the gun, just the little one. Just to have some sort of prop to make posing more fun. But I'm not too worried about the boots. I think I have some old combat boots that I can just modify a bit. I'm excited to do that. And I think after that and then the little prop, it will be done. And I'm so ready for this to be done. And then there's my favorite part, other than the gun. I love these boots. They are so cool. They have so many little cute details on them. I do have patterns for the details on the boots in the description of this video. It will make your life so much easier because you just basically have to make the base pieces, and I got all the details covered for you.
Now I'm gonna show you how to turn these basic combat boots that I got from the thrift shop into the perfect JINX boots. First, I start by using my pattern for the boot extensions that will fold over the top of the boots. I cut 2 out of foam, and I cover it in a cheap black vinyl. I do this for the shoe tongues as well. Next, I add little bolt-looking pieces to the details for the boots. I cut all the details out and paint them silver and gold just like I did for the details on the rest of her outfit. A good tip is to highlight the edges of the metal with a silver paint marker. It really helps make the edges pop. Here you can see all the little pieces for the boot finished. Then I add some X's to the side of the boot with ribbon. And I take some hot glue on the inside of the tongue and glue down the extension. And I do the same for the rest of the top of the boot as well. If your boot is like mine and has a zipper down the back middle, then you can cut the pattern in half and leave it open. Next, I just super glue all the details on. Here you can see the boot with all the details attached. And to tidy things up, I paint the boot black to make sure the color is consistent and there's no marks from glue. Then I paint the laces and ribbon hot pink. And I paint the sole of the shoe light gray. Here are the boots all finished. These are probably one of my favorite shoes I've ever made for a costume. And that's pretty much it.
Oh my goodness, I look crazy right now. I'm sorry guys. I didn't want to wear the wig anymore. I have a headache and I've been wearing it for hours and I'm just so tired. It's like 4 a.m. and I'm done shooting, but I am in the costume. Here, as you can see, I am still in the JINX costume. It looks so good. I filmed all the process of the tattoos that I hand painted myself and the makeup as well. Since I'm gonna be taking it off anyway, I'm gonna show you real quick how everything attaches. We'll start with the arm first. These belts just are Velcro. They both Velcro on. And then we have all of these pieces. This glove is actually separate from this. And then there's another layer, which is this just little sleeve. And then this, and that's so, I made a shorter fake sleeve that doesn't go all the way down because I already have so many layers. I didn't want it so thick and hot. There's all those pieces. And then for the belt, it just Velcros in the back. There's a little hidden area under here and it closes, and there you can see that. And then I have like this little foam bracelet that just velcros on, and then another glove. And then those are basically all the separate pieces. The pants is actually attached to this. So there's some Velcro in the front so I can get to the zipper and the button. But that is basically it for how I attach the costume and wear it, and it's very comfortable, and I'm very happy with how it turned out and very easy to wear. I'm so excited to wear it to a con. I still have like glue on my head from the wig. Anyway, I'm going to take out these contacts. I am going to shower. I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful or entertaining as always. If you use this tutorial, please tag me in the post so I can see it. I love seeing your creations so much, especially when you use my tutorials. It makes me feel so good. So yes, I really look forward to seeing more JINX cosplays. I love her so much. She's so fun. The show is so good. I love her aesthetic, and I love me a crazy character. Oh my gosh, I am out of breath. I have spent at least 10 hours filming the makeup tutorial and the intro, and I'm so ready for bed. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye!